I'm Shakora.
And I'm Ebony.
And welcome to the Unapologetically Us podcast, where we talk about life, mental health, fitness, finances, and everything in between. Thank y'all for joining us. We're back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Y'all, we are celebrating. Ooh, ooh, it's a celebration.
Do you know what today is?
It's our anniversary.
Yeah. Y'all, can you believe a year ago
We made it.
we dropped the episode?
We made it.
Number one.
We made it.
Titled, What About Your Friends? Y'all, by this time, y'all know I'm gonna sing. There's a song for everything.
If you watch this podcast, you know we gonna sing.
What about your friends? So, yes, a year. Congrats to us. This is the 50th episode.
50th episode.
We literally only missed 1 week.
1 week. Y'all, 1 week. And it got easier.
It got easier.
It's a part of our life.
We only had no audio one time and no video twice.
Just only once.
Twice. No video twice.
No video twice?
Yeah. It was twice.
Okay, twice.
Yeah.
But hey,
But we still got to have an episode every week though.
But we did.
Minus that one.
Minus that one.
That we miscalculated our record
49.
So, you know.
Be like that sometimes.
It be like that, but we are here a whole
I'm
year
so
later.
excited. Like I made the post and I was like, the host, okay?
Period.
That's it. Of our show. Okay. Thank y'all for following us too. Subscribing, commenting,
Recommending us,
all of it.
telling friends. Like I tell y'all, tell a friend. Y'all been telling friends about us.
We really appreciate that. I'm so excited. I'm excited for where we come from and where we're going.
And we gonna get on to that a little later.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I'm ready to drink this wine that's sitting in my face.
Yeah. We have a new wine.
A new wine. See, 50 brings on new things.
New thing.
I may have the same shirt from last episode, but I'm just saying we still got a different wine. You know what I'm saying?
But we different.
So,
it's not a different day or anything.
It's definitely the same day. Like they say, same old shit, different day. This is the same old shit, same day.
Different wine.
Different wine. And this episode, we got Menage a Trois.
Ooh.
Sweet Collection Moscato Sweet White blend. It has notes of pineapple, peach, and honey. Deliciously opulent, indulgent sweet wine ripened in the California sun.
Cali.
Now I had the Menage a Trois. I don't know, it was a black bottle, and that was not good. So I'm very interested to see how this sweet. It was a tart though. I'm not a tart girl.
Me either. She just.
I can barely take pork, but it says sweet white, so we might be straight.
Let me smell it.
With the notes of pineapple, peach, and honey.
Oh,
It smells good.
it don't smell as good as the last one.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it ain't bad. It ain't bad. It's doable.
Let me see, because
It's doable.
my girl said, it ain't bad. What? Okay, let me see.
Come on, man. So you can bring on the dramatics, because I know it's coming. It ain't bad.
I like it.
It's not bad.
It's not. It is not what it smells like. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Shout out to Montreal's episode Stereotype. You just stereotyped the hell out of that
Oh, I
wine.
sure did. Because let me tell you, it smells like it was going to be tart. Like it was going to make.
It has a little tart on the back.
It do, but it still has like a top layer of sweetness, and I like it. I
wouldn't say it's super sweet. I would give it more
it's
of
not
a
super
semi-sweet.
Yeah, the other one
Yeah,
is
more of a
sweeter
semi-sweet.
than this one. But I can do this one.
But if you like
I won't leave it in my refrigerator or at the bottom of the counter. I'll drink this one.
Yeah. I'll pull this one before I pull, a different one.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So if y'all looking for a different wine to taste, I would try it. Like if you like semi-sweet, it's pretty straight.
Yeah.
It was only like $9 or something, $10, one of them. So it's not that bad.
I like it.
I
sipped it 3 times just to make sure.
I would,
and I like it. I do.
I would buy it again.
Yeah,
I would buy it again.
I would definitely buy it.
If I didn't want to do Stella no more, I would buy it again. So again, this is the Menage a Trois.
Oh, you said like if we wasn't gonna do Stella again? Yeah. No.
We can't always do Stella. See, we are Ep50. We gotta broaden our wine palates. I feel like that could be our. We'll get into that later on. Talk about where we see ourselves going.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go and get into child listen so we can get into all the other semantics of the episode. Child listen, y'all watched last episode. I was on a whole rant. I don't have nothing today. Just hey, we here. It's the 50th episode. We sleepy, but we here. Well, I'm sleepy.
I'm not really sleepy.
I'm sleepy, and I said I go to the gym.
Oh, I went to the gym. See,
That's what you do when you a boss.
Oh, cool. Let's go with
your
that.
money right too. But I'm just saying, when you your own boss, make your own schedule, you can go to the gym. When you like me and you work for master, you gotta be there when master say be there. You gotta leave when master say leave.
I am the master.
Anyway, you got a child listen.
Child listen. Okay, no, seriously. I said I was using my child listen this month for all of my awarenesses, and self-care awareness month is September. It's now. So I motivate everybody to make sure that they're incorporating and being intentional about taking care of their self-care, right? And also September, it go a little deeper, but September is also suicide awareness month, okay? So we have that hard and that tough subject. A lot of people do not want to discuss it. It's hard, it's difficult. We don't want to talk about it, but it does happen, you guys. So we want to give out different tips and things that we can be aware of, and I will be doing that for our months that it is September, for self-care awareness and suicide awareness month. Child, listen.
All right. So we can get into today's.
Let's get into it. I'm excited.
So as we said at the top of the episode, a year ago we launched our first episode, and we told them what about your friends. We felt it was a good way to kind of get the kinks out and start with something, because we are friends outside of this podcast. But if you are wondering, how did y'all end up in front of this camera?
How did these two people?
I think we said it in a couple of episodes, like, we didn't even want to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did not want to do this.
Yeah.
So I'll give my spiel and you can give your spiel. I am a hard podcast listener. I think I found my love for podcasts in like 2016, 15-ish.
Oh, awesome.
Because I remember still being in Monroe. It ended up being something that made time go by. And I found myself getting more intrigued with, once you find one that you like, I think I got more intrigued with just hearing their opinions on certain things. Mm-hmm. Never did I ever see myself doing one. At all. It was cool, but I just didn't see myself doing this. So I remember being at work one day, I was listening to a podcast, and I just kept hearing like, you and Shakur need to do it. And I'm like, we ain't doing no dang podcast. And then I'm like, I don't even want to do that. Like, because when you watch it enough and you start joining people's Patreon, you see the behind the scenes, it's a lot of work. Yeah. And so, and then like I said too, that's not something I just caught an interest in doing for myself. I enjoy watching them, but not doing them. Yeah. So then I just kept hearing you and Shakur need to do a podcast. And I'm like, Shakur not gonna do no dang podcast. At the time, I didn't even know Shakur watched podcasts. So I'm like, why would she want to do something she don't even watch? So it just kept weighing on me. And so I just, one day at work, I was at work, I told Shakur, I said, why I keep getting this feeling and hearing that we have to do we need to do a podcast? And she texted me back and said, why am I getting the same thing?
Yeah.
And I said, well, I guess that means we got to do it. Because why are we both hearing the same thing? And, you know, you can tell your reaction.
So for me, which was so weird, but for me, it was a few months. Like, it had been like, and I guess it was in a season of me transitioning to figuring out what my purpose is, and if my purpose and my career aligned, and was I doing enough. Like, I kept having this feeling of like, you need to do more, more people need to hear you. And there was where people was inviting me to be on panels and things like that. And if anybody know me, you know that I do not like talking. For one, I still don't like hearing my own voice, right? And then getting up in front of somebody to have to provide, give, talk, it just wasn't for me. You know, when you get up and you've been said 100 times, which we still do, but you know, it's life, hey. And so it was in that season of everything being thrown in my face, but I kept getting this feeling like, you need to get in a space where more people can hear you. And I'm like, what does that mean? So I'm saying yes to the panels. I'm helping more people that's calling and reaching out to me and things like that. And then one day I'm listening to a podcast, and then I almost feel like God said, do this. Like, and I kept saying, am I supposed to do a podcast? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, but how would I do? And it took a little while for me to know, like, was it Ebony or was it my husband? I told my husband, I said, we need to start making more videos, because I'm making fitness videos and I'm making stuff like that. So I'm trying to be obedient to what I'm hearing and just trying to find my purpose. And then I don't know if Ebony, before she messaged me about something, I don't know if we were talking about a topic or something like that. And then that's when it came clear. It was like, you need to do a podcast with Ebony. I'm like, Ebony wouldn't want to do that. I'm like, oh no, that's the wrong side. She is not finna do that. And then I can remember sitting at work, and she texted me and was like, why I keep feeling like we gotta start a podcast or something. And I look, and I end up looking behind me like, and I'm like, I literally been feeling like that the same. And she was like, guess we gotta do it. And I'm like, I guess so. And I'm like, you know the first thing to do? And she like, nope. I'm like, me either. but clearly this is what we supposed to do. So then we got on it. And the crazy thing about it is, like, it just felt natural. Hard, difficult. It was stuff that we didn't know. It was us educating ourselves, but it still just felt natural. We went from boom, this idea, photo shoot, this, that, and the third.
And we wasn't like completely the blind leading the blind. Yeah. Like I said, I watched podcasts, and so I had got deep into it to where I was on Patreon, where I could see behind the scenes. So I knew that we could do video on camera. I knew that we could do mics, and I knew we could do just video and audio. What I didn't know is how extensive and tedious that it can be doing both. So I'm telling Shakur, like, yeah, we gonna do both. We doing audio and video. If we gonna do it, then we gonna do it. You know, we ain't gonna just do both. and we gonna drop them every week, not thinking either, you know, that we're all going to that. But I also know too that when you are starting off, you kind of gotta hit it boom, 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 because that's how you gain your audience. And then I was looking at it from a podcaster's side, but also a viewer side.
Yes.
And I would think about how I would be waiting for the next week's episode. And if I had to wait 2 weeks, and it was just too long. Then I also understood the binge aspect, where I know some of our viewers binge watch us. They'll skip a couple of weeks or whatever to then come and binge watch us. Montreal said he likes to watch us on the airplane, or he watches whatever. So I knew from that point, I'm like, okay, I knew both angles. So we wasn't completely blind. We just didn't know how tedious and that can be.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't think that editing a video would be tedious in that aspect. I didn't think about, I thought it was easy to sync the mic audio to the phone, which is why a lot of our videos were just phone audio, because and then we heard then you had the mics, which just got audio, the audio portion. So the mics in the videos were just props.
Yeah.
But as far as the audio part, you heard it. So we wasn't completely that, but then you take me, who is an overachiever and a perfectionist in my own way. Then you take Shakura, who is also an overachiever and a perfectionist in her own way. And then you end up with this grand slam of, here we are, two people who don't know shit about shit doing, as far as the tech aspect of it, doing a podcast.
Yeah. Ebony can tell y'all that she knew a little bit about it, and of course my husband is a tech, so I know I was getting on his nerves and saying, babe, I just don't understand why I can't sync this and why this not working, and all of that. So it's definitely been a learning experience, and I'm glad that we actually went through it. Like right now at this point that we're at, like I'm looking back like, oh my God, I cannot believe that we actually did that. Like we upgraded our mics. So, first thing was, mics don't have to be expensive. You have a USB mic and a, what these ones, see, sometimes we don't even know.
You have a condenser mic and a dynamic mic.
Right, but the connection, XLR, whatever, those different mics, knowing that, like, what they do and what they don't do, what you can and cannot. Sometimes y'all see, we have the computer, and like Ebony said, that was strictly for audio, then the camera was just straight for video. Thank God for growth.
Yeah.
But I've learned so much. When I tell you, when we first started, no lie, for those that want to start a podcast, like, we're open to answer questions. But I will tell you that I literally used to be up all night trying to do the audio version, because we split it. Ebony will do the video, which is what y'all will watch, and I do the audio, which is what you can hear. So the YouTube video, and then Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, that's where the podcast, you can find that. And so we split up the load, right? But we're still up late editing, and I'm in the audio trying to get Ebony to, like, I'm like, Ebony, it's different, the audio, you can hear or you can hear the or you can, everything is emphasized in that audio, where I'm literally going through trying to pick out different parts of it. And right now I literally probably take less than 2 hours to edit the video. And I'm sure there's more things for me to learn, and I'm excited to learn that. But looking back, I'm like, thank you, Lord, for growth. Thank you. It's been a tough 50 episodes, but it's working.
Never would have made it. Let me tell you something. Yes, and not even just video, pulling clips and having space on your phone. And there were times, I remember our second episode, we recorded the whole episode not even knowing that the phone had cut off. So we literally had to come back the next day, another session to redo the second episode, which was kind of good because I think the second episode went better the second time than it did the first time.
Yeah. But trying to remember the things that we were saying and stay on topic, because we did say some really good things in that first episode that I know for a fact that we left out for the second one and vice versa. But, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Which takes me to a point I want to make. So lately we've been like, y'all, topics. I remember before we hit our first episode, I was laying in the bed and I feel like God is deposited like episode. 4 episodes in one. We had 4 episodes before we even recorded the first one. I had the title, I had the subject matter or whatever. I knew that, like I said, I watch podcasts, so I understand the importance of grabbing your audience attention as far as your titles and how you word everything. And feeling like lately we literally would come here and don't know what the hell we about to talk about. Like, literally do not know. We literally would be on the phone on the way here, get here doing makeup, and we like, so what we talking about? Girl, I don't know. And sometimes a conversation will spark up, or I'll be thinking about something. Oh, let's just like the different sides of businesses, of diving in it and it's smooth and diving in it when it's not. That literally just was a conversation we was having. I said, you know what? All right, cut that off. Let's sit on here, record and do that. But I remember questioning, God, was that really you? Because how you gonna leave us out here high and dry? And I feel like those topics were so good, and those topics were, and the subject matter in those episodes was so good. And then, looking back and seeing like, yeah, y'all was nervous. It could have been a little better. Now it could probably go over better now because y'all a little more lax, or the lighting here was horrible. You can tell y'all was fidgeting or whatever. Y'all was feeling y'all way through. And I remember being like God, like, okay, why you got us out here if you ain't even telling us what to say? It felt like, okay, this is you, because I'm literally in the bed and it's just boom, boom, boom. And then all of a sudden we out here don't know what the hell we finna hit.
Right. And I guess I don't really feel, I haven't felt like that. I just felt like, and I know like lately I've been trying to put more into the podcast. I'm a very strong believer in faith without works is dead. So it's almost like, okay, he's led us to where he needs us to be, and now it's like you gotta take control. So lately I have been putting out more videos. I've been posting more, just doing things like that, researching. People telling us, oh, you need to put out 5 videos a day. I'm like, goodness, when? But if you trying to get to the next level, then that's what's necessary. So of course, just trying to figure out what works on the different platforms, what works on YouTube, what works on TikTok, what works on Facebook, Instagram, and how those things work. Audio, the different music that's attached, the wording of the text, the hashtags, just all of those different things. Like, it's so much going into making a successful podcast. And of course, we've made it to our 100 subscribers, which is what we said. By 50 episodes we wanted to get 50 subscribers, and I think we even made the joke last week. We were saying we over here celebrating this 100 subscribers when people over here with 13.7 million views and subscribers and all of that. And I'm like, baby steps, we gonna get there. Cause I don't even know what my anxiety would be like if 13.3 million people was watching us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then just to kind of hit on what you were saying about when we like the topics and how they're not coming to us, and I don't know for what reason that block is there. And then for me, I just see, okay, well, you need to do more, right? You need to do more research. You need to be putting more into what you're doing, and that's even with my fitness too. But looking back at those episodes, like I said, I've been posting more and things, so I've been more on a YouTube page, and I'm looking at those videos and I'm like, oh my God. I was trying to go back to an old video and post a clip from it, and I was like, I'm not even doing that. Oh my God. I'm embarrassed a little bit.
Which I can say, no offense to anybody that just came, but for the people who've been here since day one and like, you know what, I'm gonna ride this out while they figure this out. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the people who've given us feedback. Because we can only get better with what we know.
Yep.
And one thing about with podcasts and what I noticed with being that I watch them. Once people locked in, they're locked in.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I know views can fluctuate. Mm-hmm. I know that we can be popping one week and then we can not be popping the next week. But focusing on, the core people who gonna literally come watch us every week. Yeah. And, or, people who watched and said, you know what, I'm gonna come back. And then came back and was like, you know what, all right, we rolling now. Mm-hmm. Because when you are starting out, you pretty much we were, and in a way we still are, feeling our way through how we want to look. Like this background is good for now, but it's not going to be the end all be all of how this setup will be. Yeah, I can see people, looking back and being like, I remember y'all had that rose gold background and y'all was drinking wine, and sometimes the tablets wasn't positioned right, something like that. But yeah, but I will say, with the topic thing, sometimes I find myself getting aggravated of like, dang, why can't nothing come? And then sometimes I look at it like that's God's way of saying, just let me lead right now. And I don't want you to focus so much on the topic. We don't really have a script. We may have talking points. We have Google up if we need to reference something. But as far as like how the episode go, it's literally us talking.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll look at well, maybe God, you're using us to get something across to somebody.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes I'll read the comments and see something like, man, this was right on time. I need to hear this. And I'll be like, okay, cool.
Absolutely.
But at the same time too, what reels me back in was when we watched I watched a YouTube video I sent to Shakura. Y'all know I watch everything Kev on Stage. And Kev on Stage had a video where he was talking about starting a podcast. And he literally said in that podcast, be prepared to do 100 videos.
So people start watching.
With nothing. Ooh. And in my head, I'm like, 100 videos, that's 2 years. If we going every week, that's 2 years. Because we were going every other week, that's 4. And I'm like, we gotta go 2 years with the potential of having nothing. Not having the subscribers where we needed to be, not having our views where we needed to be.
Putting out money. We ain't even on the part of being monetized yet. So we literally just raw dogging it for free right now. we rawing it for free right now. So when I feel myself getting like, dang, this only had 20 episodes, dang, we only here. I'm like, but y'all also only had 50 episodes. Mm-hmm. Y'all still got 50 more to go. Mm-hmm. Before we can say, yeah, this is going, no, it's not. But then too, when you think about the fact that we both believe God pushed us into this, that we may look at it grand, but God may be like, I just need 500 people to get this right now. Y'all can reach where you want to reach without having the million. Mm-hmm. Because what come with the millions, I don't know if y'all ready for it. Or if y'all want that.
like Shakora said, I don't want 13,000 people. Yeah, because 13,000 people come with multiple opinions. 13,000 views can come with 150 comments. Now, all of them ain't going to be praising how good the episode was. So, and maybe that's why we're hearing the good feedback as well as the bad. To be able to handle what could come, down the road. But
yeah, baby, because don't forget, I'm a firecracker, okay? I'm just playing. Just playing. I accept all feedback. Even with
starting getting personal.
Yes.
It was a struggle to allow that for me anyway. I can't speak for Shakora, but to be vulnerable in that sense of allowing certain things to come out. Pretty much putting out here to the world of my fears of having, of not being able to have children, and I'm in a financial pivot right now, and career, like, y'all know, those are like nearing dear things, and it's like, but shit, if we gonna be
unapologetically us,
then we got to tell the real with the good with the bad too. So we can't be up here like, yeah, and because we was also giving looks in the beginning too. We was, baby, giving all the looks. But then I feel like sometimes I think God allowed certain things to happen where there were times where I came up here with glasses on because I didn't have time to do makeup, or mentally I wasn't here. So
I time when we came up here and I was like, I am not getting in front of that camera without my hair done. Sorry, everything's set up, but we got to go. Cause I left this at home. I left that at home, man. Yeah. Sacrifice. It's sacrifice, y'all. I think that creating and being host of a podcast, whether it's by yourself, whether it's with your best friend, whether it's with your spouse, or it's a group of people, I do think it is doable. Now, granted, what I do know and what I have learned is that it is harder when there's a group of people, okay? More than 4 people, it is very difficult. But, I'm glad that those are things that I have, been able to experience, and we have, because we're, messaging each other, sending each other different things, and of course, like Ebony said, us both being overachievers, always wanting to put our best foot forward in the things that we do, especially in front of this camera, because what you see in front of this camera is us being our authentic selves, no lie. Like, it may, and like Ebony said, we kind of having those moments of disclosing things that we would have never thought that we would be in front of a camera telling someone, that we tell amongst each other. And that's why we were able to say, okay, wait, stop that conversation. Let's get in podcast so we can be our authentic selves behind this camera. And of course, starting out, it was hard to do that. I know for me, for sure, it was hard for me to be me in front of the camera. Like, I'm like, what if I do this? Or making sure I'm trying to stay still, don't move up, don't look this way, don't look. And what you guys need to see out here is what we are. We 2 best friends that be shooting the shit all the time. Yep. Like, we literally, and of course we want to deliver things. We want to be able to give you the things that God put on our hearts to give to other people, but not just that, for us to talk. Sometimes this podcast, with all the stuff we got in the world going on, we're literally doing our makeup, setting up, we talking, we catching up, because we haven't seen each other. So it very well could only be meant for us to have 100 subscribers, but God put this podcast in our lives just so we can make sure that we maintain our friendship. Who knows? I'm grateful either way, because I love it. We were just talking about, just doing different things, expanding a little more, which is scary, but expanding a little more, doing more. But why not? We have 50 episodes. We got 50 more to go before 1 million people start watching. Kev on stage said 100 episodes. We gonna say 125. Just give me 25 more, because I don't know if I'm ready. Because it was hard to hear people say, "Oh, nah, yeah, I passed on that," or whatever, without me wanting to get defensive and say, "Well, pass on your line." No, I'm just playing. But for real, like, you have to be able to take the good with the bad. And I 100% appreciate all the feedback. I think probably every piece of feedback that we got from somebody, we tried to incorporate. We tried to make sure that we were feeding and doing the things that our audience were expecting, the things that they wanted. Like I know Tracy probably told us, like, y'all makeup and stuff, y'all look so beautiful. When you're targeting, or when you're talking about one subject, zoom in on you. And I'm like, okay, I can see that, Ebony. Look, this is what she said, or she's sending me something. So and so said y'all need to this, that, and the third, or y'all need to discuss this, or let loose a little bit here, or whatever the case may be, and us trying to incorporate that. Things like that is hard. It's hard to see it's hard to take that constructive criticism, but for growth, it's necessary.
Even our professions, if we're touching on, because let me back up. Thinking of a name was hard too.
Yeah.
And if I could go back, I would have not did the name that we had, because after about 3 glasses of wine, that unapologetically is hard to say. But with that, somebody said you can't call yourself unapologetically. I think I said something. One of your colleagues, counselor friends, said your friend was finna say something. She stopped herself. Like, no, go on, say what you was finna say. Because you be so worried starting off about being politically correct. Cancel culture. I'm like, I can't get canceled. We even get started. Mm-hmm. So there was times where I was trading what I said or watch what I said, because I didn't want to come off as being offensive or wrong, whatever. But and then too, if I'm unaware if that it's an offensive term, but also having to remind myself at the same time too, we're not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Absolutely.
There may be people who watch and say, I love them as people, but I just can't get into this show. Mm-hmm. And we have to be okay with it. I have to be okay with friends that never click play. Family members who never click play. Family members who say, I only watch certain ones, whatever like that. I have to be okay with that, because we're not everybody's cup of tea. Mm-hmm. At the same time, though, we can't say we're being unapologetically us, and then we get here and we censor ourselves. And so a lot of the feedback that I was getting too was, y'all best episodes when y'all was relaxing, when y'all got real, when y'all got vulnerable, when we could tell that y'all was comfortable, that you didn't care what you said, that you wasn't holding back, that those that know me more than Shakur could say to me, now even you know that ain't you.
Yep.
And then tell Shakur, now as a counselor, you dig into that shit. Mm-hmm. As a finance person, you dig into that shit. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. Yeah, and so even that made you, at first I'm like, man, I ain't doing it. Mm-hmm. But to have an effective podcast, you also have to be relatable. Yep. And so sometimes their relatability
is uncomfortable.
Makes you have to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Makes you have to say things that other people are maybe dealing with, that you like, damn, I done told my business. But then somebody like, damn, she dealing with that too? Mm-hmm. Damn. Now see, I thought this was, oh, okay. And it's in a way, it's still not easy to do. It's still not. I'll be like, ooh, you already said that, but it's in the episode now, so I gotta put it out there, But yeah, that vulnerability for sure was hard.
It is. It still is. It still is. There's still things that, of course, I want to always be my authentic self. I want to be unapologetically, of course, but it's things that you have to be able, like, okay, yeah, we're gonna push that one back to episode 75, because we're gonna be more comfortable then. Mm-hmm. So it is. It's scary, but we're here. We doing it. We get here and we're like, it gotta get done.
So what, since we got, we've had people ask us certain things, and this is a podcast episode, I'm going to ask you, then I'll answer it too. If you knew then what you knew now, what you would have did different?
If I knew then what I know now, nothing. I mean, other than like equipment wise, like, you know, kind of making sure that, no, I don't know. I think everything was a learning experience. So I don't think so. Like, I think we had our first set of mics for a reason, and they served the purpose, and we learned what we needed to learn, and we were able to upgrade, you know, setting up different things. But I wouldn't change it. Like, I know you said, you know, I probably would change the name, but I love it. Sometimes we gonna stumble in because it's hard. It's a hard word saying naturally, unapologetically, but I think that fits us so well. Like, in a moment where I just want to say, fuck this, you know, I can do that because I'm unapologetically, like, for real. Mm-hmm. Like, one thing that was hard for me was being my authentic self here in front of this camera, but also being a professional and having clients who see me daily. You know, should my clients see me drinking wine or talking about F this or what happened to me in life, life is life. And this is who I am. When I post a picture on my Psychology Today for people looking for a therapist, then they see this face, and I don't have to get personal in there, but it just is what it is. So that was a kind of a step for me to transition into. Even telling some of my clients that I have a podcast, that was hard. You know, sometimes I could be sitting in a session and I'm like, man, I got an episode that will help her with that or him with that. But having that fear of even saying it just because not wanting to let them see me. But again, I'm unapologetically like, do it. It just is what it is. So when you say, would I change anything? I probably wouldn't change anything. I probably wouldn't change anything. What about you?
I can agree to an extent. I understand the process. I'm not gonna say what we've done so far has got to the point where we are. I think what I would have done is maybe just a little bit more pre-research. Gotcha. Not saying that the things that we learned that we need to learn to get to here we eventually did. But just, I don't know, maybe like some stuff just, yeah, I kind of would just a little bit more. Yeah. And I know at the same time too, when we said it, we literally sat down and said, this is the date this is going out. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, wherever we was at, that episode was going out. Yeah. So whether it was perfect, whether it was bad, whether the lighting was whatever, it was going out. So again, I wouldn't take away the road. I just would have been like, let me just dig a little bit more into this. Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like at the level that we were, I did the necessary research for like, I feel like, okay, going back to the first set of mics, mm-hmm. right? We got USB mics. Why? Because we knew that we wanted to run the system through the computer. But in the phone. And the phone. Mm-hmm. But we also didn't know that 12 episodes in we were gonna want a guest. Right? So we knew that we wanted a podcast, but we didn't know that we were gonna have guests on here. We just thought it was gonna be us. We didn't think we were gonna have guests that soon.
Right, that's what I mean, that soon. So therefore we got mics that was gonna work for us, and we were like, oh, okay, mm-hmm. and we'll just buy one more if we need to have guests, not knowing that USB mics you can't have 3. You can't do that. You can't run that through one computer. Yeah. It don't matter what type of extension connection you can't do it. Mm-hmm. It won't work, you know, or whatever system. And maybe it works for somebody, it didn't work for us. We couldn't figure it out. But
And we ain't find no YouTube videos where it worked.
And there's no YouTube videos out there where it worked either, so it must do not exist. So had we, you know, so things like that. But I feel like for the moment of what we thought we were going to be doing, then we found the best option for what we thought we was doing. But again, we're overachievers. We like, oh yeah, we need guests. Yeah, we need to be able to see people virtually. Oh yeah, we need to be able to.
And that could very well be the overachiever side of it. Like I said, I don't discredit the road that we did take.
Yeah,
because we, you know, sometimes you need those bumps and bruises to get where you need to get. And like I said, we still not at a point where we want to be now. So that definitely could be the overachiever in me saying, man, you would have just did a couple more videos. But at the same time, too, knowing that you went as far as you could go. You went based off of what you knew from watching, and then what YouTube videos told you. And so, yeah. So where do you see the podcast going?
Good question. Wherever God leads us. Like, again, if I reflect on where or why we started this podcast, and like I said, those first words to me that I heard was, you're going to reach, you need to reach people, right? Not what I need to say, because you know, when I first started in this profession, I had almost like a desire to want to talk with, or to, I do not want to put that out in the universe, but almost like motivate others as it relates to not so much teen pregnancy, but like I was 20 in college and pregnant. And it was hard. It was difficult. But just being that motivation of support. I wasn't her young, that young. But you know, just being that support. Like I can remember once Jay was probably like 3 or 4 years old, somebody that knew me in college had a friend who was in college, and they were like, you need to talk to her, you know, and not so much of encouraging you, like, yeah, you can have a kid and it can work, but just telling you it can work. So if you decide to keep it, it can. It's gonna be hard though. Or if you don't, okay, but there's life after, however that be. And that was something that set in the back of my mind. So I do feel like this podcast, and we haven't even done any episodes in that, you know, area at all, but I feel like we're supposed to be reaching people, period. It don't matter what that number is. I won't put a number to that, but I would love for this podcast to grow. I love to get the feedback of people. Like, nothing else brings me joy when you see somebody in the comments and you like, oh my God. They're like, oh my God, you said that. Oh, that was so good for me. Oh, I really need to hear that. Oh, that was... And I'm like, oh, we doing something. And so, of course, and then, you know, who don't want to be monetized? So I'm always researching ways to be monetized. No lie. So if you know somebody that can help me out, send them my way.
Mine is definitely monetization for sure. Yeah. I don't really have a cap on where I could see us going. If I could think of something like short term, I want to be able to get to the point where we ain't got to be the talent and the producer and the editor and the, you know, whatever. I would love to one day just be at the point where we just show up.
Absolutely.
Even if it's somebody doing our makeup or whatever, but just literally showing up and not having to worry about pulling clips and stuff like that. And of course that comes with monetization. You have to pay editors and producers and all those things.
We need a team.
But not saying that I don't appreciate where we are now. But you know, there are some times where there were some weeks, and I'm being real and honest, there were some weeks where I was like, bro, it's Thursday night and I still gotta hit this video. Or it's Thursday night and I don't even have a topic yet. Or it's Thursday night and I ain't even got a description together. Or dang, why the stuff taking so long to transfer from the phone to the iPad? Like, come on, I'm tired. You know, like little crap like that. But I just keep telling myself one day you'll look back and go, you remember when you had to do all that by yourself? Yep. So I want to, like the short term, I want to be able to, we kind of doing it now. Well, like, girl, them first couple episodes, ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm. But now the next level of we looking back down the line and we're like, girl, you remember we had hit 50 episodes and we was celebrating 100 subscribers, and now we at the point of like we have a team. Unapologetically Us is a brand at this point, and we have a team of people and we are literally just showing up. And you know, we can do 4 or 5 episodes easily in one day because we don't have all those other elements in the mix. But at the end of the day, I still have no ceiling on where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if it turns into whatever, it turns into a TV show, talk show, whatever. Because at this point, God got the wheel. So, and well, he been had the wheel, but I'm just saying, like, he got the wheel, so he gonna take us wherever he want to take us. But if I had to speak what I would want right now, it would be to where we can reach that point of monetization and that point of having a team so that it's not so strenuous on this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So. And just keep watching us. Shit.
Of course.
Just keep watching us. I mean, you know, and keep giving us feedback. Yeah, keep giving us feedback. One thing I feel that me and Shakora will be is humble in the sense of we not gonna feel like we too much for what y'all have to say. Especially core people who've been watching us for a long, like we eventually I'm gonna stop numbering this shit. So we get to we about 300. We at episode 325, and you know people are still giving us feedback. I can appreciate those who were there at 5 and 6 and been watching from episode 10. You know that not saying that the new people feedback wouldn't matter, but those people who was there from the like who was in the like getting out the mud with us. Continue if you continue to watch us, continue to give us feedback.
Right. Absolutely.
Because I feel like at that point you are a consistent listener. You know more about me and Shakora enough to say, hey, y'all kind of veering over here a little bit, kind of bring it back over here, or y'all veering over here, bring it back over there. And you know it'll come. It won't. We won't be like, girl, I don't give a fuck. What you saying? We at 500K right now. You got you know, no. Because I feel like even when we reach where I say that I feel we could go, we ain't never above learning more and growing more and improving more.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Agreed.
And if you have any questions about, something that we ain't touched on, we use an iPhone for video. Shakora's husband does pictures, so this is where the lighting comes from. We in Shakora's office, that's where we record it. We are blessed in those aspects. We ain't recording somebody's living room on their couch, or whatever, with a tripod and just horrible audio. Even we didn't have mic audio, our audio wasn't that bad.
It was pretty bad.
I've heard worse.
Oh, okay.
I heard worse. Okay. But yeah, you can comment below and we'll either comment below and answer it, or maybe do like a Q&A video if we get enough to where that deserves a episode. But I know you want to touch on something towards the end of. I see it on your tablet. So.
Oh yes. Okay, just wrapping that up. We are so excited. I'm over here like, oh, what are you talking about? But just wrapping up, we are very excited about our 100 subscribers for one on YouTube, and also our 50th episode. But as I said before, when we first started within My Child Listen, that it was Self-Care Awareness Month, and it is also suicide prevention or awareness
a trigger
month.
warning with it?
Trigger warning.
I'll clip it in the video.
We'll clip it. Trigger warning. But suicide prevention awareness month, right? And I also just want to provide that crisis line where one can call. That is dialing 988 if you need to talk with, or you may need that assistance. And you also can text 988 as well to the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline hotline if you need help. So yeah.
And as always, if you have any questions or topic suggestions, feel free to email us at unapologeticallyuspod@yahoo.com. You can hit us on our Instagram. You can text us if you have our numbers. If you don't, I'm not giving it to you. Just comment below. On videos, like I said in the last episode, I periodically go in and check to see if we have any new comments. And then, of course, to show love to the people who are commenting, replying and stuff like that to people. But if you do, I do go back and look at that under our Instagram episodes, any posts that we post on Facebook. If you know people who know that can contact us personally, feel free to do that as well, because they always refer the information to us. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate us on all podcast platforms. And if all minds are clear, we will see you guys. I'm getting sleepy. We will see. Ain't gonna come out. We will see. We will see you guys next episode. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Get out my face.